Welcome back to the Houston Roundball Review Takeover of the Lunch Break, powered by JM&E, streaming on YouTube at the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel and also on Roku via the BS3 app. I am KG Chris Gardner, and with me is KP, Kennetra Pulliams. We were talking Houston Cougars, women's basketball, made our predictions on the men's and women's Final Four. So if you missed that, you can watch that afterwards. Now, we're going to talk about one of the teams participating in the men's Final Four. This I find interesting. The dark money behind Duke basketball. Courtesy of Andrew Beaton from the Wall Street Journal. If you're looking for the money behind the most iconic brand in men's college basketball, the favorite to win the men's NCAA tournament, and the team that landed future number one NBA pick Cooper Flagg, you're likely to find nothing at all. Duke has steamrolled its way to the men's Final Four because it has one of the greatest collections of players in modern college basketball history. Yet, who exactly is paying for a roster that cost millions of dollars to put together remains a gigantic mystery. In a move that's highly unusual for a major college program, there's virtually no online footprint for Duke men's basketball's booster collective. That's not because the Blue Devils have somehow managed to construct a star-studded team without gobs of cash lining their players' pockets, though. Instead, Duke is in a position to compete for its sixth national championship thanks to a group of high net worth donors who have chosen to operate in a way that makes them unique in the braggadocious world of college sports by conducting their business from the shadows. People involved with the operation say the group's silence is intentional. They say their goal is to give Coach John Shire the resources to compete, to support his vision, and never be a distraction from the ultimate goal of winning national championships. What little evidence there is of the group's existence is buried deep in corporate records. In March of 2023, 2 weeks after Shire's first season as Mike Krzyzewski's replacement ended with a loss in the NCAA tournament round of 32, 3 Duke alumni incorporated a nonprofit in Delaware with an address listed as an office building in Arkansas. They called it, quote, One Vision Futures Fund, end quote, and applied to do business in North Carolina according to state records. In its annual report for last year, there was no hiding its purpose in an era when college athletes get paid for the name, image, and likeness. The form says, quote, description of nature of business, sports, NIL, end quote. The address of OVFF, as it's known, belongs to the office of Duke alum Jeff Fox, the CEO. I'm not going to read all that. He's listed on incorporating documents as one of 3 executive officers, along with fellow alum Dan Levitan and Steve Dunker. Money, folks, KP. This paragraph here, I got a kick out of. Most collectives loudly broadcast their activities because they'll take money from anyone with a credit card. Auburn's On to Victory, Florida Victorious, and Houston's Lincoln Cougs all have websites where visitors can become a member and donate to the team within a couple of clicks. Those schools' athletic departments also publicly promote their collectives. OVFF has no such digital presence, and its near invisibility stands in stark contrast to Duke's other booster collective. The Durham Devils Club has a website offering memberships that start at $20 a month and lists a number of teams it supports, from football to women's soccer, but notably not the basketball team. In response to inquiries from the Wall Street Journal about the collective's activities, Rachel Baker, the Duke men's basketball GM, who was hired in 2022 to oversee NIL, says OVFF's under-the-radar approach is quite intentional For one, she says it helps protect the players' personal lives when boosters aren't touting how much they're being paid. Quote from Rachel Baker: "It's no secret what we do, but the discretion around it is more about athletes' privacy than anything else." End quote. The collective's membership has been kept small on purpose as well. After hearing stories about donors who tried to interfere with team decision making or had strings tied to their capital, OVFF wanted a tightly held group that was happy to invest passively and trust in Shire to run the team. OVFF's privacy and exclusivity has other benefits as well, Baker says. By not addressing the dollar numbers it throws around, it has allowed the collective to stay nimble in the marketplace of players. The lean operation also means they've avoided overhead costs, such as a business manager, with the goal that all the money going in should flow directly back out to the players. Given that collective was formed after last year's freshman class had already committed, this marks the first season when its muscle is being fully deployed. It's no coincidence that this also marks Duke's return to superpower status. This Blue Devil roster features what's undoubtedly a pricey group of talent. Flag alone reportedly makes millions off NIL, while two of his fellow freshmen, Con Knipple and Kama Maluch, were five-star recruits who are expected to be first-round picks. The team also added several key veterans in the transfer portal, home to many of the game's fiercest bidding wars. Lastly, Rachel Baker declined to give a precise figure for the budget of this year's roster, but even before NIL, the school was accustomed to donors contributing enormous sums to the basketball team. Duke already had something called the Legacy Fund, created by Coach K to endow the team. The minimum donation for the Legacy Fund, $1 million. Thoughts on that? Thoughts on that dark money?
I mean, it's a model that's it's impressive. It's like there's no need to like thump your chest and use a megaphone to tout how much money, because then to me it waters down the product. If you have this secret society, as long as it's legal, and then by what we've seen them making the Final Four, then apparently that system is working. We've seen throughout the course of the season and the tournament, people threaten these players if they don't perform as fans think they should, just because of the betting implications that are tied to that. And what you're really doing is you're criticizing somebody for playing a game at a level which whoever is the criticizer can't play, and you're jeopardizing their mental health. Like, you're threatening families, you're threatening players. Like, really? Because they missed a three-pointer, or because their team lost, like, whatever. So, I mean, I commend the way Duke is doing it, as long as it's above board.
I do as well. I like how they're handling things. It's too late now because the Cats. Well, Lincoln Cougs could be analogous to Duke's other booster collective, and establish a private one for the Houston. Sure. Establish one with the Hall of Famers, the pro athletes, all the do it that way. I would be in favor of that. I think it's better, smarter, be private. It's no one's business what the kids are being paid. I don't care. I don't want to know. I don't want people to know how much I'm getting paid. And so it always makes me shake my head when people in society toss out the salary, and the agents do this because they want to let everybody know what they're doing with their clients and stuff. But very few people want their salaries made public. Right. So why are you okay with the players' salaries being made public? So let me get down from my horse on that.